Most people turn off their Meta ads at exactly the wrong time, or they keep their ads running when they're clearly broken, quite simply because they don't know what they're looking for. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what working, well-performing ads look like in week 1, month 1, and month 3. I'm going to show you the metrics that actually matter versus vanity metrics. And most importantly, I'm going to show you what makes campaigns perform better, faster. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Ashley. I currently run a marketing agency. We've done this for hundreds of clients. We literally build marketing and sales processes for our clients. So we do this every single day. We spend all of our time in the ads manager, in funnels, in the back end. So we know exactly what works and what doesn't work, what to look for, and what is not that important. By the end of the video, I want you to be able to know if your ads are working or whether they're broken. Also, what you want to actually compare, what metrics are important, and how to make your campaigns work faster and better. So before we jump into it, first thing that you need to understand is what the learning phase is and what this essentially looks like. The learning phase is when you launch a campaign. Essentially, Meta is learning about your business and your target audience. You're not going to just click publish on your ads and all of a sudden it goes to your ideal client. It goes into what we call a learning phase. Now, ideally, what Meta's looking for here is 50 conversions. So whatever it is that you're trying to get to happen, right? So whether that's a lead, a schedule, a purchase, whatever it might be. Let's just take leads, for example. Meta wants to generate 50 leads to get you out of the learning phase. Before those 50, it's essentially guessing who to put the ads in front of based off of what you've given it, right? So like your targeting on the back end, the creative, the copy, etc. It's taking that and it's making a good estimated guess at who you want to put these ads in front of, but it's still learning as to what a good lead would look like and what someone who is not interested or a bad lead would look like. So when you're in the learning phase, your results are going to be expensive and inconsistent, and that is to be expected. Do not publish a campaign and expect it to work immediately within a week or 2 weeks. If you're in the learning phase, typically it's going to be more expensive and inconsistent. When you come out of the learning phase, that is when your results will begin to be predictable and consistent and typically cheaper. So for example, if it takes 50 conversions, 50 leads to exit the learning phase and your cost per lead is £40, for example, if you're spending £20 a day, it's going to take you 100 days to exit the learning phase. If you were spending £50 a day, it will take you 40 days to exit the learning phase. And if you're spending £100 a day, it will take you 20 days to exit the learning phase. Obviously, this is just an example, but the point is you need to be able to afford a good 10 conversions a week to get out the learning phase in a decent period of time. And if you can't afford that in terms of the budget, that's not necessarily a problem, but from an expectation point of view, you need to be able to kind of sit on your hands a little bit longer to let Meta go and find the right people, because it's just going to take a little bit longer. So in week 1, you have launched your ads and you go into the learning phase. Essentially at that stage, you just need to leave it alone. We don't touch it. We want Meta to go out and go and find the right people. Now, things that we are looking for at this stage, the first thing is a good CTR, okay, which is a click-through rate. We want this to be over 1%. You want to be getting some clicks, so whether that's going into a lead form or a landing page, we're looking for clicks on your actual ad itself. And ideally, within the first week, some sort of conversion, whether that's a lead, 2 leads. We're looking for something that's just telling us that the ads, the actual creative that itself is working. Now, bad signs in week 1 is a very low click-through rate, so anything under 1%. And let's just say you're spending £100 a day. If you've got no conversion at all, no leads, whether that's a good lead or a bad lead, something's broken there. Either the funnel is broken or your creative is just not hitting the spot. The targeting of the creative is just not working. Now, let's just say that click-through rate is over 1%. We're getting some leads, so we're going to leave the campaign to continue to run. And now we're going to look at what good looks like, or what we would expect to see within month 1. Now, depending on your budget, will depend on whether your campaign is going to exit the learning phase within month 1. Again, if you're spending a bit more in your budget, you're going to exit it quicker. If you're spending less, it's going to take longer. You need more patience to exit that learning phase. It doesn't matter so much that it's still in the learning phase and that kind of goes on because your budget is lower, as long as we're getting a decent click-through rate, we're getting some conversion, so some leads are coming through, people are booking calls, that as long as those things are happening within month one, then that's fine. The things that we are looking for, the good signs that we're kind of looking that predict whether this campaign is moving in the right direction or not, is the cost per lead is consistent and maybe slowly dropping or just starting to drop. Again, that's going to depend on your budget. We're looking for a bit of consistency in the performance of the ads. So rather than like 3 leads one day, no leads for the next 2 days, we're looking to see like 2 leads a day fairly consistently. And the most important part here is that those leads are qualified. If we're in a position in month one where leads are coming through, you're speaking to them and they're actually the right type of person. They're interested in what it is that you actually do. They want to book a call. They maybe have budget, etc. Like they're ticking the right boxes. Then we're moving in the right direction. The creative is catching the attention of the right people. It's going in front of the right people, and they obviously are captivated enough to want to have a conversation. Okay, so they're good signs in month one, essentially. Now, the bad signs, the things that we're also looking for that tell us that the campaign is moving in the wrong direction within the first month, is going to be a low volume of leads. So even if you're in the learning phase, like a trickle of leads coming through is not going to be that great. However, there's a caveat there. It kind of depends on what your service is. If you sell something for £100,000, it's going to cost you more to get a lead, right? Whereas if you sell something for £1,000, you're going to get leads on a more regular basis. Okay, so there's a bit of a caveat there, but from a bad perspective, from a negative perspective, if you are getting leads and they're not qualified at all, then we've got a problem. Okay, that could be a qualification problem. It could be a targeting problem, i.e. the creative is off, etc. Or if you have got good budget, but you're still stuck in the learning phase, then that's kind of a red flag at this point. Now, fast forward a bit to kind of month 3, we should be in a position now where pretty much all campaigns are out of the learning phase. Meta now understands who your buyers are, what makes a good lead, what makes a bad lead, because it's started to collect data and it's learning off of the leads and the conversions that are coming in. And by now we should expect to see some predictable and scalable numbers. So, for example, leads are consistently coming in at £40 a lead. We know that we're getting 2 or 3 leads a day, and those leads are of a decent quality. That means that at this stage, we can make a decision and say, okay, well, we're currently spending, I don't know, £100 a day, £120 a day. We can now start to scale this and push the budget to £200, £250, £300 a day because we've got that predictability. We know that we're going to get, a lead for £40. Every, 1 in 2 leads is actually booking a call, and we're closing 1 in 3 leads on the call, right? There's predictability through the system. That's what we're looking for by sort of like month 3. So what makes your campaign work better faster? Well, the first thing is going to be existing pixel data. So your pixel is kind of a piece of data that sits there and it collects information about your buyers, your target market, your ideal clients. And the more campaigns that you run, the more budget that you push through your ads, the more your pixel learns. So if you've ran campaigns before, whether they are successful or unsuccessful, the more data that the pixel has, the better your campaigns will be and the faster that they will progress. The second thing that is going to help your campaigns perform better faster is warm or existing data. So you might have an email list, so people have given you their email to subscribe to something before. You might have a really good following on Instagram or Facebook or wherever it might be. And we can essentially retarget those people that we already know are interested. If you've got a list of 2,000 or 3,000 people sat on an email list and they've all signed up for what it is that you do, or some free thing in the past, we know that they're kind of the right type of people, so we can begin to retarget them. What we'll also be able to do from that is build a lookalike audience. So we can say, well, these are my existing clients, or these are people who I know are interested in what we do. What I would like you to do, Meta, is go and find people that look very similar in the demographics to these people. Okay, so Meta will go, okay, well, this list of people typically follow these types of people. They are online at these types of times. They look at these types of websites. So I'm going to find other people that I know that are on the platform that are similar to these people and put your ads in front of these people because there's a higher likelihood that they're going to be interested in the same sort of stuff. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing that will make your ads perform better is social proof, testimonials. We have ran some really successful ads recently where we've just ran testimonial videos for our clients, right? And they work so well. They're such strong proof levers that we can pull to say, don't worry, like we've literally done this before. We work with these types of people that look like you and they've got really good things to say. And that will convert at a higher percentage because nothing really can beat proof. Obviously, you can put guarantees in, you can do all this sort of stuff, but there's nothing that will beat proof. We've also found that testimonial videos, whether they are run as ads or there's just a lot of them on the landing page, it will generate you cheaper leads. And if you can get your leads at a cheaper price, you're going to exit the learning phase faster, which means we can scale faster. So testimonials, social proof, it's really important that you collect that within your business as much as you possibly can. Videos are the best form of that, but even just written testimonials will get you further faster. Now, the next thing, and this is a question that I get quite a lot, is does it matter if we've got good creative, if we've got like good videos, good images, things that we can actually use as ads? What we find is the businesses that we work with, if they've got good creative, they can shoot good videos, they can take good pictures, they've got good examples of the work that they've done, or if they're like a coach or something, they've got a good kind of setup and they can shoot a video really well, they will work better, right? Full stop. The better your creative is, the better your ads will perform. Now, what I'm not saying is that you need some £5,000 camera and a lighting setup and a podcast studio and a professional drone shoot and all this sort of shit. What I mean is if you have clear images of what it is that you do. So let's just say that you are a flooring company, for example. If you've got like grainy pictures of some flooring that's kind of at an angle that doesn't look very well presented, like that's going to perform worse than some really clear before and after that's exactly in the same spot and it's like a good quality and clear and the light is good. Like that will perform better, like no shit. So if you want your ads to perform better, the creative typically will do better if it is of a better quality. And another point to that is, like, don't get me wrong, we've had some really good success with ads that, like, you'll take your phone, you hold your phone up and you just like talk directly to it and it's kind of a bit off the cuff and it's a bit rough and ready and you can kind of walk around a little bit. You're still shooting it on like a decent up-to-date iPhone and the quality is good and the audio is good. Like, it's not like grainy and terrible, because that just won't work as well. And the last thing here, like, and this is an obvious one, to make your ads perform better, you need a clear, proven offer, right? A clear, proven service that people are already using. If you want to run ads for something that is brand new, you don't even know if people want it, that's an experiment, right? If you want your ads to perform well, you've got to put something in front of people that you know that they want, right? So for example, like, we do marketing for businesses. Like, our setup, we know that as a business owner, you are probably aware that you need to market your business, and the way that we kind of package that is quite attractive, and therefore we know that the right type of person will want that. So I can run ads for that because I know that people want the thing that we're selling. If you've got something completely new, no one's ever parted with money with you to get the thing that you're selling, it's just an experiment, right? So if you're going to run ads and you want them to do well, make sure that the thing that you're advertising people actually want. Sounds stupid and obvious, but I will just say it. So what metrics are important and what metrics can you just disregard? So the first thing is click-through rate, as I've said before. So we want this to be over 1%. A click-through rate is just a percentage of people who saw your ad versus how many of those people clicked on it. Obviously, the higher that is, the better the offer, the targeting, the creative. If your click-through rate is below 1%, typically either your creative is not very good or your offer is just not connecting. The second thing that we want to be tracking is number of leads. We're running a lead campaign. We want to generate leads. Therefore, that's a very key metric. So the number of leads that you get will pretty much be in correlation with your TAM, Okay, so your total addressable market. If you are selling a £100,000 thing to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, your number of leads and your cost per lead is going to be higher than if you are selling weight loss to women, right? There are less people who fit into a CEO category than there are women who want to lose weight. So if you sell something super expensive and after a week you've got one lead, that's not bad. Whereas if you sell something that is mass market and high volume and after a week you've only got one lead, that's bad. So it's all relative, but it is something that obviously you need to track closely. The next thing, which I've kind of said there, is cost per lead. So how much is a lead? That's quite straightforward. Now, to work out whether that is good or bad will again be dictated by how much is the thing that you're trying to sell. If you sell a service for £1,000, let's say, and your leads are 20 quid, and every 5 leads that you get, you convert one, it costs you £100 to make £1,000. That's not bad. If you're selling that £1,000 service and your leads are costing you £200 and you close 1 in 5, that's not good. So it's all relative. Equally, if your service is £10,000 and your leads are £200 and you close 1 in 5, that's not bad. So whether your cost per lead is good or bad is all dictated by the cost of your service. The next metric that we want to be tracking is cost per qualified appointment. So leads come through, how many of those leads are qualified? Let's say that a lead costs you 20 quid, and for every 3 leads that come through, you book 1 appointment because 2 of them are just not that great or maybe are not budget qualified, but then 1 in 3 is actually good and you're like, cool, let's book an appointment. So if that lead costs you 20 quid, you book 1 in 3, it costs you £60 to book a qualified appointment. So a lot of this is relative to your business, your service, the price of your service, etc. But those are the things that I would be tracking definitely at an early stage when we're running a campaign. The things that you want to avoid, the things that are just vanity metrics. First thing is impressions. No one cares, doesn't matter. The next thing is reach. This is just how many unique people saw your ad. Again, it doesn't matter. If 5 people saw the ad and all 5 of those people are qualified, then great. That's way better than if 100,000 people saw the ad and 1 person was qualified. So it literally does not matter. The next thing is post engagement. So although likes and comments and shares on your ads will typically help your campaign, it's not something that we really want to track and measure. It's not going to be something that directly correlates to the success or the failure of the campaign overall. And the biggest one that I see everyone talking about is CPM. So your CPM is essentially how much does it cost to show your ad to 1,000 people. And again, like, it doesn't matter if those 1,000 people are the wrong people. It doesn't matter at all. So when you're running a campaign to generate leads, you want to focus on actions. Things like people clicking on the ad, filling out the form to become a lead, and then getting booked in to the next step, a sales call, an appointment, or whatever it is that you do. So look, most people will turn off their ads before they actually give it a chance to start working. And other people turn off ads that are performing well. They just don't understand the metrics properly, or they get scared when they see big numbers in terms of cost per lead or cost per qualified call, but they just don't attribute it properly. Hopefully now you understand what these metrics mean, what you should be looking for, and what will help you get better results in your campaigns faster. And look, if you're a business owner right now and you just want someone to take care of your entire marketing and sales process for you, as I said, that is literally what we do. We build the ads, the back end, the systems, the AI, we book the calls for you. We build all the automation, the landing pages, literally everything that I've ran through here. So if you're a service-based business owner and you want some help with that, or you want to have a conversation with myself or one of the team to see if that would be a good fit for your business, in the description, there is a link to book a call. And if you don't want to do that, hopefully this video has brought some value to you. You can use this in your business and your ad campaigns. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.